Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and we're doing a coaching show today at Hamilton Heights. Coach Chad Ballenger, welcome, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, let's talk a little bit. Season's getting ready to start. You got you lost a few seniors, but you got some good players returning. Let's talk a little bit about the 23-24 Huskies.
Yeah, we had a really good summer this past summer coming in. One of the best we've had in a long time. Really had high expectations coming into this year. Guys put a lot of time in and just got back to things that we needed to do. We have some really good returning players from last year, and we have 6 seniors: Simon Knott, Isaiah Grimsey, Phoenix Von Nassar, Tillman Etchison, John Iron, and Sam Dawson. And with Sam and John and Tillman, those are our top 3 leading scorers from last year. And, like I said, a really good summer with really high expectations. And then we come into the year and we've just had a lot of injuries. And we're going to struggle for a while until we get everybody back. We're going to get everybody back. It's just going to take some time. But, it's... Coach Painter had a good quote the other day. He said, "One man's misery is another man's joy." And, that's true. If somebody's hurt, they're in misery, but there's another player there that's happy because he's going to get an opportunity. And so we're going to have some young kids that are going to get a chance to step up and play that maybe wouldn't be getting very many minutes. But we've got a good core group. I've been really pleased with our work ethic. And we'll toss it up, and it's all about let's get better each day and see what can happen in March.
Yeah, because you look at that JV group, and you got a lot of sophomores there, and actually some of those kids got to see some JV minutes as freshmen. So
yeah,
they got some experience there.
Yeah, we took some of them this summer. Reese Knapp's done a really good job as a sophomore. What hurts him now is just the pace of the game's different. At the one more stop up, the physicality, but he's done a really good job. Justin Overton and Austin Day have worked really hard. Our junior class I'm really pleased with. Drayden Zernan has played really well. Carson Felger's one that's probably has improved as much as any player I've had. Just understanding his role. He doesn't try to look to score too much, but he's a good defender. We're going to get something out of him. And we have 2 transfers in. Aiden Unger from Noblesville came out to us, and he's the hardest worker in our program. He found the spot because of his hard work and kind of does a lot of dirty stuff that I think is going to pay off for him. And Landon Schreiber came to us from Avon. His dad's always lived in our community, and he's coming to school, and he's a projected starter for us. Had a really good summer. One of our better shooters in the gym. So when we get those guys back, and we've got a pretty good group that works hard, we're going to be able to do some good things. It's just got to be, as I told them, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And it's going to take us some time to get there until we get our injured players back.
Yeah, and one thing, and we've talked about this over the years, the one thing about it is sometimes you think in some schedules, that some coaches load the schedule at the beginning a little bit soft, or there's games that you got that are not very tough, but you've always been one that want to challenge the kids the entire year, and that schedule is just like that again, and with the Newcastle and Guerin and Muncie Central and West Lafayette, and and it goes on and on. So.
Yeah, it's I've always been one that we need to be challenged because it's going to help us in the long run. If we schedule down, we could get some wins, but you don't always learn a lot from that. Create some bad habits, and I've always kind of went out over the years. We played Lawrence North, and we played North Central, and Lafayette Harrison, and Mount Vernon. We've always had multiple 4As, and this year it's no different. We picked up Muncie Central to play. It's going to be neat playing in the field house in Muncie. And Guerin right out of the gate on week 2, a team that's returning quite a bit from a state finals team. So we're going to be challenged right away. But again, we're going to learn about ourselves. and get back to practice and work on weaknesses and try to make strengths out of that and get to March. We're going to be battle tested.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, Coach, one thing, talking about the first game coming up here, you've kind of changed the schedule a little bit and played Noblesville that first game of the season, which Noblesville won their first sectional in almost a decade, you know. So in a very, very tough sectional. And Coach Mack has got several of those players back, and that's a good team, but that'll be a good challenge for you to open up with.
Yeah, it's, you know, the history of that Noblesville Heights game obviously goes back a long time, and Noblesville's dominated that series. We've had stretches, you know, with Gus Etchison coming through, we beat him on back-to-back years. We've been very competitive. We've won a few, but that's just one that they're one of the best teams in the state, and it's going to show on Wednesday night. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to be missing some guys, but the big thing about making it that game one too is kind of on equal playing floor, is the sense that we've all going to have 15 practices.
Yes.
The season hadn't started. Their strength of schedule is a lot tougher than ours. So when we played them late in the year, it's been great for us to get ready for the tournament that way. But just moving it gives our fans an opportunity to come over Thanksgiving break. We think it's always been a good crowd, but we think we're going to see a little more people come in and be a nice way just to kick off that season to play a team that's a top 5 team in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, because the one thing I did always think about growing up around here and everything, you know, growing up here in my era, which was several years ago, I mean, the Hamilton Heights-Noblesville rivalry was a huge rivalry. I mean, it was, you know, because that was back in the days of the Tony Cooks and those type of players, you know.
Yeah. I've done a lot of research, you know, putting the Heights record book, and I've really dove into that. It's been fun to read the Heights, Noblesville stuff. Donnie Morgan and McCoskey had a lot of success against Noblesville. They actually didn't lose. I think they went four wins and no losses against Noblesville in that stretch.
Yes.
And some really heated battles looking over the years. I think in the history of it, though, Heights has only beat Noblesville 18 times since 1965. So, you know, which Noblesville's a big school, and they've had a very good program, and so is Heights, but there's been tons of good battles in there, even though it's Noblesville's won the majority. But it's fun. It's a neighborhood game. Our kids all know each other. It's fun. You know, it's fun. It's not as fun when you got a real good friend sitting there at the other end. Coach Mack and I were talking last night. It's somebody has to lose, and that's not fun because we know how much time we put into it. But I want to be on that side. You know, I want to kick their butt. But it's fun. It's a good rivalry. Yeah,
absolutely. Then you come back home, or you go on the road and play Clinton Central, and then you got you do play Newcastle here, because to me that's always a great experience. I mean, that gym's been there forever, but it's something special when you walk in that big huge gym and the crowd and
it is. It's good. You know, that's where our sectional is. When I was a kid, Hagerstown.
That's huge.
We played in there. That was the sectional when I was a kid in middle school, and Steve Alford was there, and that's all I remember. That place was standing room only, and it's just a great feeling walking in there, especially to kick the season off early and the excitement. But you know, we'll get to experience that late in the year in the sectional, but. Clinton Central returned some kids back from last year. It's a good midweek game for us, and then Guerin and Newcastle in week 2. We're going to be battle tested, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and you know, and like you said, getting to go to Muncie Central, man, there's been a lot of great games played over there. And that,
you know, we've been highly successful there. Our section was there for 4 years, and 3 of those 4 years we played in the finals. The 4th year was probably one of our best teams at Heights. We were 18-3 and got beat in the semifinals by Muncie Central. So We won it twice over there. It's been a pretty good place for us, and I wanted this group of kids to experience that Walnut Street Fieldhouse and all the history. And you walk in there and it just smells of history, and they're
The
calling
names on the wall.
names on the wall, and Coach Harrell's name, and it's a special place. It's Indiana basketball history, and it's something our kids will be able to look back on and say they were able to play on that floor.
Absolutely, and of course the schedule goes on, but that kind of takes us, pretty close to the first of the year, and you kind of break your seasons down in sections. Really, those games that you play before the Christmas holidays, and then after you come back, and you're changing locations this year on your holiday tournament too.
Yeah, we're going to go to Switzerland County in southern Indiana. We're going to get 3 games, 2 days, a little different than what we've done in the past, and it's a good tournament. There's some good teams. We're starting off with Crystal House, Indianapolis Manual, and Switzerland County's in our bracket. Indian Creek's really good. They're going to be in the tourney, so it's something that we're going to get tested. I love holiday tourneys.
I do too.
I get into those. I love to play in them. I love to look at all the scores that come in. I think that's a big deal. Our kids get to go spend the night and team bond and have an opportunity to win a tournament. So it'll be a nice experience for us. We still probably won't have a lot of our kids back for that, but it's still going to give us an opportunity to go down there and see how we stack up against and head into that second half. This year we really don't have a break. We play Lebanon December 22nd, go into the holiday tourney December 28th and 29th, I believe, and then just have a few days off, and then January 5th is Northwestern. So not a big break like we've kind of had in the past. So we'll nickel and dime some days off to get our kids some rest, but we'll head into that second half of the season ready to go.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach, taking time out of your busy schedule, and I'm sure before too long I'll be back up here and we'll talk again and kind of recap some of the things that are going on with the Huskies. But as always, I enjoy coming up here and talking to you and talking basketball and talking about this county and what the rich heritage they have in the game of basketball. So I appreciate that, and good luck on Wednesday against the Noblesville Millers here at home.
That's right.
Should be a big crowd.
Big home game, big crowd. Looking forward to it. It's always exciting to kick the season off, and I know our guys are really excited. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Coach.